Hey, what's up you guys? It's Bloody Jacob here, and I wanted to bring you a video review on the 2013 Canadian zombie horror film, 13 Eerie. And if you guys don't know what 13 Eerie is, it's obviously a zombie movie, like I said, and it stars Katharine Isabelle. And if you guys have seen at least a few of my videos in the past, you'll know I'm a big fan of her acting. And so I really just got this movie mainly to see her kill some zombies. But also to add to my general Katharine Isabelle collection, which is actually steadily building up more and more every day. So, or at least every couple months where I can actually buy something, afford to buy it. It's not to get off topic though. So, I've seen the movie before now, but I just rewatched it again so I could give you guys a more fresh review. And, I'm not going to go through the whole plot or anything like that, but the basic premise is that Katharine Isabelle's character, Megan, and a few others, another notable guy to me in it is Brendan Fletcher, and I haven't seen any standalone movies he's done, but I know he's been in a lot of movies with Katharine Isabelle herself. I know he was in Freddy vs. Jason. He had a small part in Ginger Snaps 2. He had a part in Ginger Snaps Back, the trilogy, and Ginger Snaps Back, the beginning. He had a small part in that. And then he was actually in Turning Page as well, so that's really cool. So him and Katharine Isabelle have done quite a lot of work together. And, so he was actually pretty good in this movie. And he didn't really have the biggest role, but I still thought he did pretty well for what he, had. And as far as Katharine Isabelle goes in this movie, she was fantastic as always. Definitely the highlight, acting-wise, in the movie, in my opinion. Again, she shows that, fear and anxiety and desperation really well, which I think I spoke a little bit about in my Torment video review. So, she does incredibly well again. And like I said, I'm not going to explain the whole plot, but the basic premise is that Katharine Isabelle, who plays Megan, and Brendan Fletcher and a couple others, they're forensic student undergrads or something like that. They're trained to be in the FBI, forensics, or maybe just police, I don't know. But, so they're taken to this isolated, abandoned island or area. But what they're not really let to know right away is that it used to have a a prison, or where they'd send lifetime inmates there, or life term inmates. I think they might have known about that, but what they really didn't know is that there was some weird government testing and experiments there, and that caused, I guess, these strange aggressive mutations or something like that. And thus we have our creations of the zombies in this movie. And the zombies in this movie, while they don't really have the greatest comeuppance, you could say, as far as how they were supposedly created, as far as they actually go, being on screen, I thought they did look pretty good, actually. The makeup was all pretty good. It was all done pretty well, in my opinion. When you first see them, the design of them might take a little bit of getting used to if you're used to Walking Dead style zombies, or Romero-ish looking zombies that are a little bit different than that. But they're still pretty good, I think. And they have this the main ones have this tougher skin to them too, and they're a little bit stronger, I guess, physically. So it kind of adds to the threat a little bit. That's another thing I really like about this movie. The director, believe his name is Lowell Dean, or Lowell. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name here, but I guess this is his first time really directing, and I thought for his first time especially, he set a pretty great tone and atmosphere for the movie. You know, that like sort of like dark emptiness as like the students were being stalked. I thought that all felt pretty good. That all felt pretty right as far as what they were trying to do with the story. So that part was really good about it. Well, like I said, there wasn't really much of a plot to it, but it's like a zombie horror movie, so we're not really here for like a complex narration or like a complex, subplot and things like that. But what we do get is, in my opinion, a very entertaining zombie movie in general. And as far as the visuals go for this zombie movie, they're surprisingly pretty solid. Like I said, the makeup for the zombies are pretty good, and like the whole gore FX, the gore special effects, they're all pretty well done. Surprisingly, I was kind of impressed, and the design of the zombies and the effects of the gore, they just grow on me more and more every time I watch this movie, and yeah, so that was all pretty impressive. Especially for a movie that doesn't have like the most incredibly high budget either, even compared to most of the other zombie movies we see left and right nowadays. I think it was all above average in that regard. And like the kills in the movie are pretty brutal as well, so we get a lot of entertainment on that end. And like I said, I'm not going to go through the plot. I'm not going to like talk about all the different characters or deaths or things like that. And like I said, Katharine Isabelle's great, fantastic as always. Love her, love every movie I've seen her in. I'm just gonna keep on building and building my collection on that. It was a great seeing Brendan Fletcher again, and then there's this other guy from Ginger Snaps. I don't know his name, but he was like the popular jock or bully in the first Ginger Snaps, and he's the one that Ginger sort of went with when she was going more of with a wolf mentality. But not to go on that, but he was in it. Not to go off on that, but he was in it too. And he did all right. He was passable. So the highlights acting were definitely Katharine Isabelle. Brendan Fletcher was fun. And most of the rest of them were like Michael Shanks and stuff, who I remember from one episode of Burn Notice. The rest of them, besides Isabelle, for the most part, were pretty passable in my opinion. Passable, not really great, but not terrible either. They did their jobs and they did them well enough. The only major gripe I have with the movie is that the ending is a little bit unsatisfying in my opinion. And I'm not going to try to get into too much spoiler style comments here, but it kind of leaves you hanging a little too much. I know I've seen a lot of endings like that, I get it, leaving it up to your imagination and all that, but this one just really cuts it off like The Sopranos. I've never seen The Sopranos, but of course I heard about, they just cut to black like that, So, it's kind of like that in that regard of, like, in this, they give you this moment you think they're doing this, and then, like, something comes up and you think they're in danger again, but they just cut it off to black. And then that's it for the rest of the movie. The survivors, you don't know what happens to them, you don't know what happened to the zombies we were seeing. It wasn't like an impossible situation for the survivors either at the end. There wasn't really too much of a threat. There's a threat, for sure, but it wasn't like something that could kill them all right away. So they still had a chance. Most of them did. And so I just really think they should have shown what happened after that and gave us more of a conclusion to the story, in my opinion. So that's the one major gripe I have with the movie. But other than that, I really enjoyed it. It was a, like I said, don't go into this expecting like a complex narrative or anything like that, but it is a very entertaining zombie horror movie, and I definitely recommend checking it out if you're into zombie movies in general or just horror movies. Or if you're a fan of Katharine and Isabelle, I definitely recommend checking this one out because you do see her getting physical and you get to see her, you know, it's really, without spoiling anything, you do see her kill some things, so that was really entertaining. And like I said, I liked it enough to buy it on DVD, which is right here. So if you can get a good look at that. Katharine and Isabelle, of course. Katharine and Isabelle, of course, right here. And yeah, so I liked it. I enjoyed it enough to purchase the DVD, or at least add to my Katharine and Isabelle collection. So yeah, I definitely recommend checking it out if you like zombie horror movies in general, or just a huge fan of Katharine and Isabelle like I am too. So yeah, check this one out, guys. It's pretty solid. And I'll catch you guys later, and peace.